great details about the boat going out. Explained it all to me, and then he told me he wants my job. And I explained to him that the Constitution requires you are 35 years old. So I will keep the seat warm for him. Senator and former astronaut, which is very cool. Wonderful Congressman Ted Deutsch is here. And my great friend, Congresswoman Debbie Wilson-McClure. The future can be uncertain. Now, we've gone through the 3 toughest years in our lifetime, economically. Worst financial crisis, worst economic crisis. Our economy is now recovering, but it's not yet where it needs to be. Too many of your friends and too many of your neighbors are still hurting out there. They're still looking for work. Too many of your families are still searching for that sense of security that started slipping away long before this recession hit. Amen! So at a time like this, we've got to ask ourselves a central, fundamental question of the day. What do we have to do to make sure that America is a place where if you work hard, that hard work and that responsibility pays off? And the reason it's important to ask this question right now is because there are alternative theories. There's a debate going on in this country right now. Can we succeed as a nation? Yes! Where a shrinking number of people are doing really, really well, but a growing number are struggling to get by? No! Or are we better off when everybody gets a fair shot? And everybody does a fair share. And everybody plays by the same set of rules. That's what the debate in America is about right now. This is not just another run-of-the-mill, gabfest in Washington. This is the defining issue of our time. This is a make or break moment for the middle class. And everybody who's aspiring to get into the middle class. And we've got 2 very different visions of our future. And the choice between them could not be clearer. Now keep in mind, I start from the belief that government cannot and should not try to solve every single problem that we've got. My first college job, when I wasn't much older than most of you, was working with a group of Catholic churches on the south side of Chicago to try to figure out how can we improve the schools, how can we strengthen neighborhoods, strengthen families. And I saw that the work that some of these churches did more good for people in their communities than any government program could. No education policy, no matter how well crafted it is, no matter how well funded it is, can take the place of a parent's love and affection. And I also believe that since government is funded by you, that it has an obligation to be efficient and effective. And that's why we've eliminated dozens of programs that weren't working. Announced hundreds of regulatory reforms to save businesses is before I was born, much less you. I believe the free market is the greatest force for economic progress and doing this. But here's the thing. I also agree with our first Republican president. I got from my
Republican.
Guy with a beard. And what Lincoln said was that through our government we should do together what we cannot do as well for ourselves. And that's the reason why we have a small military, to keep us safe, because I suppose each of us could just, grab whatever's around the house and try to defend our country, but we do better when we do it together. And we've got the best military in the history of the world. College education. That's how Michelle got her college education. It benefits whatever company might end up hiring you and profiting from your skills. If one of you goes on to become the next Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, or one of you discovers the next medical breakthrough, think about all the people whose lives will be changed for the better. We made an investment in you. We'll get a return on the investment. Yeah. But we guarantee basic security for the elderly or the sick or those who are actively looking for work. That doesn't make us weak. What makes us weak is when fewer Americans can afford to buy the products and businesses themselves. When fewer people are willing to take risks and start their new business because if it doesn't work out, they worry about keeping their families. What drives our entire economy does when the benefits of economic growth and productivity go only to the few, which is what's been happening for over a decade now. And the gap between those at the very, very top and everybody else keeps growing wider and wider and wider and wider.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
In this country, prosperity has never trickled down from prosperity has always come from the bottom up. Who went to college on the GI Bill, including my grandfather, helped build the most prosperous economy that the world has ever known. That's why a CEO like Henry Ford made a point to pay his workers enough money so that they could buy the cars that they were building. Because he understood, look, there's no point in me having all this and then nobody can buy my cars. I've got to pay my workers enough so that they buy the cars. And that in turn creates more business and more prosperity for everybody. This is not about a few people doing well. We want people to do well. That's right. But it's about giving everybody the chance to do well. That's what the American dream is about. That's why immigrants should come to our shores, because the idea was, you know what, it doesn't matter what your name is, what you look like. You can be named Obama. You can still make it in Detroit. Yeah. And yet, we keep on having the same argument with folks who don't seem to understand how it is that America got built. And let me just say, I mean, the folks that we have political arguments with, they're Americans who love their country. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, we all love this country, but there is a fundamental difference in how we think we move this country forward. These folks, they keep telling us that if we just weaken regulations that keep our air or our water clean, or protect our consumers, if we would just convert these investments that we're making through our government in education, research, and healthcare, if we just turn those into tax cuts, especially for the wealthy, then somehow the economy is going to grow stronger. That's the news. And here's the news. We tried this for 8 years before I took office.